There's another universe. Please make some noise. Give me a
Hey, aspiring providers. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Terria, proud owner of Elevation's Adult Day Services and founder of a group training called Building Profitable Adult Day Programs, where I teach aspiring providers like you step by step how to build a profitable adult day program by following the home and community-based service guidelines. On this channel, I'm here to share my real life experiences of building my adult day programs. So today we're going to be talking about the top 10 mistakes new adult day programs owners make in their first year of business. If you're wondering what those common mistakes are and you have thought about starting your own adult day program, click on that subscribe button below because this channel is for you. So let's get into these top 10 mistakes. I made them so you don't have to. So number one is estimating your ongoing costs. So when you're operating an adult day program, there are tons of expenses and you have to be fully aware of what all those expenses are because you can quickly go under and spend all of your money by not properly planning. So work with somebody or talk to somebody that knows all of the expenses that are involved with operating an adult day program so you can plan, so you can ensure you have your 3 months of working capital. So 3 months of working capital is essentially 3 months of expenses set aside in case anything happens, in case there's some unexpected expenses, in case there's a delay in the application process. It's imperative that you know what those monthly expenses are in entirety and you have 3 months of those monthly expenses set aside. Okay, next. Poor documentation system. So when you're operating an adult day program, documentation is key. You have to document everything. You have to document, your participant progression, like what they're working on, when they attend, how well their programming is working, because that's how you get paid. If you don't have it documented to a T, you can stand the risk of not being reimbursed for the services that you have already rendered. So you have to have a solid documentation system in place, as well as documenting your employees' training, documenting your employees' evaluation. All of those things need to be documented. So not only do you have to have a file of documentation set aside for each of your clients, but then you also need to have a file set aside for each of your employees. You also need to make sure you're maintaining your business license, insurances. So you have to also have those documents on hand. So documentation is so important, and having a solid documentation system will take you a long way. Number 3, hiring too fast or hiring the wrong people. So this is a service-based business. So the services you render are everything. The quality of the services you render are everything. So you have to ensure you hire the right people. Hire people that are in alignment with your mission. Hire people that have the passion and the care for the services that they're providing. Hiring people that have the desire to want to make your clients be better, to want to see your clients improve, to want to support your clients. So hiring is everything. So you want to take your time hiring the right people. You want to take your time hiring the people that have the skill set to render the quality of services that you want to present and give out. Number 4, no marketing or referral plan in place. So you have to have clients in order to make a revenue or in order to receive a revenue or generate any type of revenue. So you have to have a marketing and referral plan set up. It's so important that you're marketing your services. You're marketing your services often. You're constantly have a good flow of new clients coming into your program. That way you can slowly and surely build upon your revenue and build upon your services and build upon your clients. Number 6, missing compliance deadlines. So when you're working with the state, there are compliances that you have to abide by. One being you have to maintain your insurance compliance. 2, it has to be complying with your taxes. Next thing, making sure you're complying with all the state regulations, updating policy and procedures when need to, ensuring you have fire sprinkler checks, fire extinguisher checks. So there are many different compliances that you have to make sure you comply with, and ensure you comply with those things within the deadline. Being timely with complying with these things are super important, because your business can be shut down if you're not adhering to those compliance deadlines. So you never want to miss any compliance deadlines. You want to stay on track with that. You want to keep a tracking system so that none of those deadlines are missed. Number 7, no financial tracking. So you have to keep track of every cent, every penny that you spend. You need to know what's coming in and what's going out, and you need to know up-to-date current financial information. So I always advise my new aspiring providers to make sure you're tracking your finances at least monthly. You're keeping track of, how much revenue you're supposed to receive, how much revenue you actually received. You need to keep track of what you spent, what your budget was, how much you went over your budget, or if you're under your budget. You need to make sure you're tracking all expenses. It's super important. That way, if you go over your budget, you can adjust very quickly so the next month it doesn't happen again. Okay. Not only do you not want to go over your budget, but you want to make sure you can look at ways to maybe go under your budget. So you definitely need to keep track of your expenses, and you need to be monitoring those very, very closely. So like I said, never going beyond a month, 30 days, without checking your finances. And lastly, forgetting your why. When you start getting into business and you start making money, you start providing the service, and you start getting into the day-to-day of operating your business, you tend to forget, new aspiring providers tend to forget why they got into this in the first place. Typically providers start services to provide a quality service, to provide a service that's in need, to serve an underserved population. I got into my business because I wanted to provide services for adults with intellectual and developmental disability. I wanted to provide a service where I'm promoting self-sufficiency in their life, independency in their life, teaching them vocational skills, life skills, continuing education skills with them. I have to constantly remind myself of my why, so that I keep putting out a quality of service. So I keep being passionate about the services that I provide. So I keep in mind that the services that I render in alignment of what I originally set out to do. Okay? So starting an adult day program isn't just about opening your doors. It's about building a structure, a system, and a strategy from day one. So if you're somebody that wants to learn step by step on how to do this the right way, join my 20-week course, Building Adult Day Programs. Use that link in the bio and the video description below so that we can chat. I can chat and see if you're a good fit for my program. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.